It is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside Lumen Field on your standard rain-filled afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Today it's week 3 and we've got a good one in store between the London Monarchs and the Seattle Seahawks. Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Go check. Three. Check smash.
They'll run with Tanner to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early third and 10.
Check.
Looking to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it first and goal at the 8-yard line. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Monarchs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. Moving 19. Reload.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
the 60. Pat the 60. Check, Bobcat. Check, Bobcat. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
2nd and 6. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Up the middle, here's Taylor. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A tall task ahead of them here, needed a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
Pat the street. Pat the street. On the ball, on the ball. Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Ready, ready.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. Touchdown! A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Monarchs are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. And the kick is no good, but there are flags behind the line. He's going to get bailed out. I think this is going to be a roughing call. A try here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Ready, break. Cowboy 80.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Christian Harris in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. The throw over the middle taken in, and he's going to be taken down at about the 33. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Right there, go!
He'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Come on.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
18 Cardinal.
They're going to look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A.J. Dillon with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. And the Seahawks have got it back to within a score. Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. The Seahawks at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
Dillon, they tried the left side with him.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Let's go now.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats. 19 tight, 19 tight.
He'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
18, Rodley, 18, 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates.
Now back to throw. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. 30. 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get into the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalpost. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, They have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On the set.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On the ready.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready, set.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll set up to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Okay, ready.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. Touchdown! A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Monarchs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Okay, break.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Pulled in at the 24. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. But that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, a 23-yard run. And the Monarchs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Looking to throw. Flynn. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 79 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I love the modern game, but that was a throwback right there to see the big man with football, running, knocking people aside, and picking up yardage. That takes me back to the 60s, the 70s, when fullbacks ruled the earth.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Monarchs get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. The point after is good, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Dillon. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Again, it's Dillon. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A.J. Dillon with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point try now for Patterson. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Yeah, he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. They'll look to throw here. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Dillon up the middle. And a short gain down to about the 33. Amari Barno getting there to make the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
To throw on 3rd down. Flynn.
He has a man. It's complete to Wilson.
And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Dillon.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Again, it'll be Dillon. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try and pound it in with Dillon. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak.
at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak his first 3
Filet,
times. There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he's going to be taken down, plus there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motive.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
There he goes left side. 20, 10, 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
And the kick here no good. But a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into. Extra point attempt to come here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for our visitors, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.